Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome back to A Year of Change and day 150. That's about the only change I'm going to make for the intro for this one. We are almost at the halfway point. We are actually hitting a nice little milestone today. We're at 5 months and 150 days, I think, is a nice little bit of recognition for you. I did have like a whole song and dance thing I was going to do for a little bit of a milestone, but this is why you shouldn't depend on other people. The cats have not been rehearsing the way they should. They know I'm going to be generous and say 3/4 of the lyrics and maybe half the dance moves. So if you're disappointed, you can blame them. But other than that, congratulations for meeting day 150 up front. It's not war, but welcome to day 150, I guess. Normally on Tuesdays, I like to sort of introduce a new YouTuber that I found. And I've got a number of YouTubers that are sort of waiting in the wings, as it were. But I just sort of wanted to I'm saying sort of a lot. I wanted to revisit some of the people that we've looked at in the past. Because as we've been going week to week, we've got about 14 in there now. And some of them might get sort of lost in the shuffle. So I just want to sort of I keep saying sort of, I'm sorry. I want to keep pointing people back towards that playlist. So you can go through and find out what works for you and, you know, get a little bit more, get familiar with the people that are in there. But also, I just sort of want, that's driving me nuts now. See, I'm consciously aware that I'm saying sort of all the time. Anyway, what I wanted to do today was to, in a way, explain why I've chosen the people that I've chosen, that I'm showcasing those people. We've had some that are just sort of starting out. We have some that were doing it in the past and sort of fell back. I'm going to ignore it. That fell back and have stopped posting. We have some people that have had some successes, and then we've watched the people that are just starting out. There are a number of different reasons why I go through and find people that I think that, you know, either can use our help or can help us. And for some of them, it's that you can see they've been struggling for a very long time. There are some that are just starting out, and you want to give them that support, which is what we've been doing the past couple of weeks. There are others that may have been doing it for quite some time. They've had some success, and we want to follow along with that and get some information from them. But there are a number of different things that I try to avoid, I guess, when I'm looking for people. And this doesn't really, there aren't a lot of negative things that go along with it, but there are some little flags that do pop up from time to time. One, I guess you may have noticed that the majority of people that we've put up there, they don't need to lose like 20 or 30 pounds. They're usually people that, like me, have quite a bit to lose. Whether it's from them saying, well, I want to, here's my goal, or whether it's them saying, I want to change everything and work towards, you know, a specific weight. And it doesn't really, not to detract from people that want to lose those 20 or 30 pounds, because that's still getting healthier. But it's one of those things where you sort of weigh it out and say, these people need that little bit of a boost more than the people that need to lose 20 pounds at this stage. I'm sure that those people that are trying to lose that weight as well are having just as much of a hard time as we are. But if you're going to pick one, you got to pick one. Another thing is that there are some that, I mean, I've said this before, that not everything that I say you're going to agree with. Not everything that I say, you know, the majority of people are going to agree with. And there are people that we've looked at that are doing things and trying new diets and things like that that don't necessarily mesh with what we're trying to do here. Ideally, we're trying to get to a point where we never have to diet. It's just that this is how we live our lives now. But we've had some people that have tried, you know, the paleo or Atkins or keto or anything else. And although it's not for me, or surgery as well as another one, it's not for me. It's not what I'm trying to do. But depending on the atmosphere that goes along with it, those are the people that I can say, okay, this worked for them. So it's information. It's obviously information that can help, so we can glean something from it. But there's one that there's a YouTuber that is out there, and I really wanted to sort of add him in there, but as I was going through the videos, just more and more and more, there was this real hate on for grain and milk and just sort of standard things. It's fine to say, you know, I want to cut out carbs. I'm going to try this for a bit. I just drooled all over myself. I want to cut out carbs for a bit because I'm eating too many of them and I want to keep things in balance, and this is what's going to help me. That's fine, but I can't really, in good conscience, promote something that someone's saying, you know, wheat is poison. We've talked about this many, many times. It's not. Just overeating anything is bad for us. And along those same lines, he was saying you're just vilifying milk. Which, yes, we understand there's sugar in it, there's fat in it, there's lots of things. But saying that humans shouldn't be drinking it is ridiculous. It really is. It's been, I mean, I don't want to say, oh, it's been fine for thousands of years, because that doesn't prove anything. But when you have people that are saying, well, no other mammal in the world does it. Well, they do. A lot of mammals do. But that's like saying, well, you know what? Then you should be eating rotting meat because the other mammals, you know, kill things and eat raw meat. And rotting meat as well. Just because another life form is doing it doesn't mean that logically you should be doing this yourself. So it's stuff like that and I mean, he's had a great success with what he's done. He's lost like 200 pounds. But I don't feel comfortable putting that out there and saying, you know, because we've had 2 or 3 discussions about wheat. We haven't really discussed milk a whole lot. You know, but I mean, I know that yesterday we did a processed food thing, which is more along the lines of, you know, just eating fresher foods. Not that it's toxic for you to eat processed foods or that, you know, it's the evil corporation or anything. But when it gets to a point where it's militant, I can't really promote that, which is why I've never put them up on the channel. If you can go find people, they're all over the place. You can find what you're looking for. So, I mean, that's another thing. There was one that I was going to put up, but he's got 5 videos. None of them are over 4 minutes. And in 4 of the 5 videos, aside from his introduction, he's promoting a product. And not just a matter of saying, this is what works for me. I mean, that's not something that I mind. If someone's saying, here's what I'm using, here's why I've had success so far, you know, this is working for me. But when it gets to a point when you really feel like you're watching a commercial, and they have links to another company, which is like Amway, where I assume they're getting, I might be entirely wrong, but you just get that feeling that you're like, you're getting kickbacks from this somehow. You know, like you've done something. And it's just, it's uncomfortable to a point where I'm like, I'm not going to put you up there. So there are little things like that that sort of come in and out when I'm trying to find people. And that's why the people that are up there now are people that, although they may have done, you know, gone through a different method that we're going through, they aren't saying this is the only way you can do it, and it's the only proper way, and everything else is evil, and, you know, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. They're honest about it. And they're saying, this is working for me. Right now, this is working for me. And maybe they'll try something else down the road. Another thing, and this is sort of a, now that I'm mentioning it, is one of those things that I'm thinking this might come across as creepy. You may have noticed that, I'm trying to think that out of the 14 people that we have, I think only 4 or 5 of them are men. And I mean, I was going to try to do like boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Or man, woman, for those of you that are getting upset that I'm using the term boy and girl. But I was to sort of keep things equal, but it hasn't really worked out that way. The majority of the stuff that's out there where it's men doing stuff like this is that it's, oh, here's how to get a beach body, and here's how to build muscle and all this stuff, which is very helpful. It's fine, but we aren't at that stage yet. And we've talked about body image before, how it affects women more than men. There's more women in Weight Watchers than men. I don't know if it's just because we don't care or that there isn't that much pressure on us, but it's just, it's rarer to find men doing stuff like this than women. So that's why that is sort of, what's the term I'm looking for? That's why the numbers are skewed towards women that way. I think we talked about this before as well. Weight Watchers is like 80% of Weight Watchers is composed of women. So 4 to 5. That's quite a bit. Oh, there's another one. I wanted to do that again. I've made little notes here and there because I knew I was going to forget stuff, as I always do. Going through the products and everything else. there's another one that I found a couple of people that are like this that I've avoided putting in as well. And it starts out all right. The introduction is fine. And then as things progress, you're noticing that it's leaning away towards the weight loss thing and more towards attention seeking. Not in a dramatic, like, oh, hey, look at me, look at how awesome I am. But like just sort of fishing for things, and in a way that you just get, again, could be wrong, but this is the vibe I get. When you're watching them and you're just thinking, you're not doing this for the reason that you're saying you're doing this. You're doing this so that people will comment on you and say, oh, no, you're so pretty, or you're so handsome. Just a lot of sort of self-deprecating stuff that it isn't really an insult. And quite honestly, those are generally people that I'm finding are ones that don't look like me. They look pretty fucking good. So you sort of wonder, why are they doing this? And then as you continue watching through the videos, you're like, that's why. You're still insecure, which obviously you need to work on. But it's not really there to help people out. I find that it's more of an attention grab. And I'm not going to put those up there either. So the people that I do have up there, the 14 that are up there right now, and please go up, take a look through the playlist, and because you're going to be able to get something from everyone. Those are the people that I feel are sincere, and that's probably the best term. When I'm going through everything, I need to find someone that is sincere, whether it's a matter of them saying, I need help, or whether it's them saying, I want to help other people. Whatever the situation is, having that honesty and that openness. And I mean, I'm one to talk because I still haven't done a starting weight. I still haven't done body shots, any of that stuff. So it doesn't have to be, bearing all and saying, here I am in all my splendor and take a look and here's what I'm going to fix. But, sorry, that openness and that sincerity is really what makes it. And when you go through the different videos and stuff, you'll see that it is still there. When they have their good days, they're happy about it and they want to share that. When they have their bad days, they still know it's a bad day and they want to share that. And in some of them, it's really gut-wrenching when you're watching it and you just think, like, you understand that disappointment when you look down at the scale and you're just like, this is not fucking working. But then when you have those moments when things are going really well and they're feeling better and they share that with everybody, that adds to it as well. So when I'm going through people, there are some that are going to be a little weird. There are some that are going to be funny. There are some that are going to be very serious. There are some that are very dry. There are some that are witty. It's like all the different personalities that are in there. There is that, overall sense of sincerity. It was really hard to say. That I look for. And I think we've got that with everybody that's in there. And there are some people that, unfortunately I haven't heard back from yet, that have sort of stopped what they're doing. There are some people that are continuing on through the good and the bad. And there are some that just are sort of sporadic when they're posting. But the fact that we're still all out there, still looking at them and saying, you're not alone, we're still here. It doesn't matter if they contact us in a month or 6 months. It'll be whenever they're ready. And as long as they continue on going and, as long as they know that, I suppose, in the background that when they're ready, then we're going to be here, that's the main thing. So hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight as to why I'm sort of picking and choosing the people that I am. Probably going to continue on over the next few weeks with people that are just starting out. I think it's really important to sort of do that. And as we go along, we are going to sort of throw in people that have done it in the past and some successes that they have. But if some of you have an idea of people, where'd that come from? An idea where, of someone that you think can use our help, certainly invite them in. Talk to them, send them up to the playlists, send me an email, and, we'll take a look at them. It's no promises. But there are a number of other people that we've seen as well that when you go up to the other playlists, they're subscribers, they have their channels, and, there are some that I want to pick from there as well because there is generally those personalities sort of flock together. So it's nice. You don't often have one person that is, really sort of gung-ho and trying their best and sharing the good and the bad and everything else. And they're in a group with people that are, peddling products or attention seeking or whatever it is. They generally tend to stick together. So that's a good thing anyway. I don't have anybody new for this week for you, but as I say, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be adding some more people in there. This week, I really just sort of wanted to revisit everything and just say, like, go back and look at the previous people that we put up. They're still in alphabetical order. I may have to change one because it's driving me nuts. Because technically, the name starts with an X. It's the one that we added in last week, I think. I think it's the most recent one. Yes. But the name is actually a B. Anyway, you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to put that in there. And just sort of go through each person. And there may be some in there that you don't agree with, but it's worked for them. There are going to be some in there that you do agree with, and it's not going to work for you. So the main thing is get as much information as you can from as many different sources as you can and make up your own mind that way. Find out what works for you. Find out what you think is going to be the best process, and one that you're going to stick with, obviously, as well. And not necessarily one that is going to give you the quickest weight loss, but one that's going to give you the most lasting. And you're going to see some people that are going through different types of diets. You're going to see some people that aren't dieting at all, that have gone through it in the past, and that are just sort of getting to that mental stage where they want to start in again and start tracking and things like that. So it's very interesting seeing the different personality types that are in there. But overall, with all of them, there is that openness and that sincerity and that willingness to help. And that's a major thing that I look for as well. Along with that, them being sincere, is they're all doing this because they want other people to say, you know, not necessarily cheer them on and say, oh, I need everybody's help, but just the fact that same thing that we're doing here, they want to be able to reach out to other people and say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So whether this works for you or not, we can sort of start out together and go that way and hopefully get to a point where we're both happy. Anyway, I've gone on far, far too long. No, I haven't. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, we're at 17 minutes, roughly, so we're okay. But I'm going to end this here. So once again, thank you again for day 150. I know this is a bit of a weird milestone, sort of. Day 200 is going to be a lot bigger, and day 183 is going to have some stuff. You'll figure out the math, you'll understand. I do apologize again for the lack of dinner in a show, but when you're working with animals, they're not committed. I don't know what to tell you. So, anyway. But for right now, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.